All right, it's a Worlds Collide Wednesday night Coliseum 2 Round 4 Match 44 showdown. Taco Mage versus oneFreeFitz. I am the Schwantz27 and I'm joined in the co-commentary booth by Aprebs. What's going on tonight?
Hello all, hello Schwantz. It's a good night for Worlds Collide Racing. Here we are getting ready for our second one of the night. Our first one happened over on Speed Gaming. That was a good one to watch. Actually,
Ooh.
didn't Free Fitz did commentary for that one, and now doing double duty tonight with a race as well now.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get any seed bleed. Sometimes when I do like back-to-back runs, sometimes I will forget what's in what particular race. So before we go over Locke's flag set real quick, which is what we're going to be working with, shout out to both Metas24 and Innocence Lost with those Prime subscriptions or that actual money subscription. Thank you for your donations. We will be going towards charity for them. I believe we have a charity run. When is it? Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. It is in the Discord.
Tomorrow
the
night,
link
right?
to it. Yeah, tomorrow night for Extra Life is a charity run. So if you want to check it out, it's oh god, I'm going to butcher this name again. Anthropophagic.
Anthropophagic, yeah.
It's close enough.
I practiced that one.
I should have let you handle that one then. Anthropophagic.
Yeah.
Yes, very good, very good. All right, so let's see what we're working with in terms of our particular flag set tonight.
Let's see it.
It is Locke's night, so we are going to start with Locke with his Vanilla Steel ability. We get plus 10 speed, plus 5 strength, and minus 5 magic power right out the gate. So the early game is going to be a little bit slower than normal because magic tends to dominate early on and physical damage will come in a little bit later. If we go to the Coliseum and win a battle, we get auto haste, and I'm assuming that everybody is going to be going to get that. That's a very good reward for our Coliseum here. To go along with Locke with his steal ability, we have the always steal option, which means that you will steal an item 100% of the time on the first try. If a particular enemy has both a common steal and a rare steal, the common steal will happen 5/8 of the time, and the rare steal will happen 3/8 of the time. However, if an enemy only has a rare steal, you're just going to get that one, right? So it's pretty good. So yeah. Why don't you run us down, Aprebs, what the rest of the flags are here?
Yeah, so chests are 100% random. That one's pretty much what it says. And then starting gold is 0. So we start off with no money to start with. Starting Phoenix Downs is 10 Phoenix Downs, just in case you need them. Shops are random tiered, and this is where the starting gold is really going to hurt us. Shop prices are 150 to 200% of what they normally cost, and whatever you sell only sells for a quarter fraction. So you're not going to be able to sell off stuff and make a whole lot of money really quickly. It's going to take some time. However, shops do have Super Balls on, football in the mind. And yeah, it's just, so we have some, it's going to be a little harder to get some good tier items if they happen to be in the shop, unless you can find a lot of stuff you can sell off.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI supply chain issues. Everything is in chests and pots. Nothing is in the stores. It's just like, art imitating real life here. So
yeah.
So with that in mind, let's go on over to the game zone here, and we'll see, what our runners are working with. We know you're going to get Locke to start. We do also get 2 other characters to start off with. We don't know exactly which one of those characters will be yet, but in order to beat the game, you have to unlock Final Kefka and then defeat him. And in order to do that, we need 6 characters and 9 espers. In order to skip just to the boss gauntlet, we have to defeat 12 bosses. And if we end up getting Cyan with access to the Doma Dream, if we complete the entire Cyan's Dream check, we will get 3 sword techs for our characters. So if we're at 5, that gets us to 8. If we're at 2, that gets us to 5. If we don't have the sword tech user yet, they'll start with 3. So that's sort of how it all plays out here. With a Locke start and 100% random chests, as it looks like we're off and running. So we'll see what our characters start off with. But where do you think we go first here, Prebz?
Let's see what we got. We got Strago and Terra, so we might end up seeing maybe some good old-fashioned Narge start, or Returner's Hideout, and going for those probably really early Terra checks. Maybe even a sealed cave with the amount of chests you can get there as well.
Yeah, so definitely with 100% random chests, we're going to want to pick up as many as possible. With Terra, we do get access to Imperial Camp with its either 13 or 14 chests down there, and I think there's another like 15 or 16 in the check itself. However, our runners decided on different things. There's an Illumina.
Yeah.
Woo! So that's why when we want to dig in chests, because that Illumina will be full price 65,535 in the shop.
Yeah. Keith pointing out in the chat that already seeing a fixed dice already as well.
Oh, I missed the fixed dice.
I totally missed that one too.
So we got some regular dice and we got some fixed dice. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So with Worlds Collide, let's talk a little bit about, as our runners are doing some looting and shopping, which is what the first 5 to 10 minutes of most seeds are like anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the concept of character gating and what actual options we have available to us in order to earn the rewards to unlock Kefka's Tower, right? So we have Terra, we have Locke, and we have Strago. So Terra opens up 5 different checks. The Cave to the Sealed Gate that we already mentioned, the Leet River, which oneFreeFitz could have gone into from the Returner's Hideout, but is deciding not to, instead giving us the Cave to the Sealed Gate here. We could do the Mobile's Attack in the World of Ruin, where you sort of recruit Terra in the vanilla game, the Welk check, or the Zozo Tower, where you go grab her in the World of Balance, and it looks like Spectre, Sunbath. I didn't see Wind Slash, I think, was the only offensive ability on that dance from Strago. Oh, man, another juicy item there.
Yeah. That is a very nice one there for some real good looting for Taco Mage there. But yeah, so we've got the character gating, right, is each character's checks, they have the possibility of getting another character, a Esper, or a high tier item, right? And so our runners are ideally, hopefully, getting a character.
The reset.
Instant reset there.
Yeah, so normally, Pugs, you have a chance to get a Minerva drop from defeating them. It's a 1/8 chance per Pug. However, you could also steal a Minerva off of the Pug. And in that Monster in a Box fight, you could steal up to 3 of them. So that's a really good one to find. I wonder if Taco Mage is maybe not as familiar with the always steal option. It's not a standard flag that we have on most of the time.
Looks like there's a snow muffler option there for the weapon shop. Opted to go for the cat hood, but now knows that there's a snow muffler behind the Welk check now.
Yeah, I like the cat hood play. I know that Strago can equip it, whereas a snow muffler I'm not quite sure about. Curse shield count is up at 10. I still think that's doable. Anything over like 13, 15 maybe is probably not as doable.
Yeah, that's a little tougher. 10 isn't too bad.
10 is only worth it if you find really a peace ring or a ribbon, right? Because otherwise, being a character down for that long might be kind of bad. And here, oneFreeFitz is pulling on the sealed cave ninja, getting a grenade, and looks like he's already got a Hawkeye or a sniper there on Terra. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, early on, those fireballs and grenades, when they get damaged, they'll counter with Exploder, which basically means they die, but they inflict their, the rest of their HP onto you. That's a Pearl Lance as well, and a Peace Ring in the stove. So we do have access to a Peace Ring, which is good, because that will
Thunder Rod as well.
That'll negate.
Just found Sniper.
Yeah, so that Peace Ring will negate the Berserk status and the confused status on your character, so you can actually use them while trying to uncurse that shield.
Yeah, that is a nice find. If they decide to go for it, and this early on finding it, then if they have that way of negating it, it could be really worth it.
Yeah, so question from the chat from Innocent Lost. Are the chests the same items for each runner? Yes. In this particular flag set, they are. So Taco Mage, assuming he picks up the same chest as Fitz, will also get that sniper, will also get whatever else Fitz did pick up here. It's another dead check with Marvel Shoes. So a couple of dead checks early on. Kind of feels bad because you want to get maybe some free progression, but that also doesn't increase the scaling of your enemies. So do you want to talk about that a little bit, Aprebs?
For sure.
How when we fight enemies and bosses, how they're scaled?
Yeah, so the way it works in the Coliseum is when we find an Esper or fight a boss or another character, the scaling goes up by 2.5. So every check that our runners do, there is that chance that the next fight that they get into or the next boss that they'll fight is going to be even harder because of that level scaling. So you'll see that part of what our runners are trying to think of as they go decide on their routing is maybe routes that have forced encounters, or you might see them just go out of their way and take a fight that they don't necessarily need to in order to get some levels to keep up with that scaling.
All right, so a couple of good things here in the relic shop on Fitz's side. We've got some earrings, which is good for boosting magic damage. We also have a ribbon. If we did not find that peace ring, I would just use the peace ring. We also have a dragon horn there. So that would be nice if we find either some Dragoon boots or if maybe we have natural jump. I know we have dance on Strago and we have steel on Locke. Do we know what's on Terra?
I do not know off the top of my head. I did not see that.
All right.
But we know that
I did not either. Chat will hook us up.
Yeah, chat, let us know.
The real
we do
MVPs.
know that they have a pearl lance from the pickup in the Imperial camp right outside the sealed cave. So if they do find a natural jumper, get those Dragoon boots, then they've got a nice weapon to go in those hands.
Yeah, very good call there. Pearl Lance is the second best lance in the game, and lances give 2.5 times damage when doing the jump versus all other weapons are only 1.5. Wow!
Wow. Ooh, wow. Yeah. 176 for the Ragnarok. That is a steal. Take it. Definitely go for it. That was great.
That is one of the cheapest Zen Thieves I think I've ever seen. I've gotten a couple of double-digit ones, but 174 has got to be maybe third cheapest I've ever seen. That is
an Aura Lance over in that shop there for Taco Mage as well over there in Sen. So nice.
All right, well that is something for either Locke or Terra to use because they could both naturally equip the Ragnarok in the vanilla game. Strago, there's a chance. I just saw a Valiant Knife in Fitz's inventory somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know where he got that from.
Yeah, I don't see where he picked that up, but I saw that too. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so that's something that Locke can equip naturally as well. So definitely some good offensive items off the gate here.
Yeah, so Taco Mage has an Illumina and a Ragnarok, and Dan Strago, who could use the Tiger Fangs, which is a pretty nice stat stick. It gives +3, I think, to magic and strength. Gives a speed bonus, gives a stamina bonus, so that's one of the better stat sticks in the game. So Fitz doesn't have any of those things. He's got the Valiant Knife and the fixed dice, though, but he's certainly not done looting yet, and it looks like Taco Mage has said, I've got enough stuff. Let's do some grind fights here.
Yeah, here we go. And so here's the grind fights we were talking about earlier, that as our characters go through these checks, knowing that they're going to have to fight bosses and and hopefully picking up espers, that the scaling is going to go up and up and up, so they're going to want to get their levels up to keep up with that. And yes, chat has let us know that Blitz is on Terra.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You did mention that earlier. All right, so Terra having Blitz is also very good because Blitz, most of them anyway, excluding Pummel and Suplex, are based on your magic power stat. And although we got a -5 magic power stat adjustment at the start of the seed, Terra's magic power is usually on the higher end of things, of the stat rolls. Hopefully it is, at least for this particular seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do give our runners 3 Moogle Charms, and anyone can equip those. And you could either keep them on or take them off, as it were, to do some grinding. It looks like Fitz is going to take his off here before completing the South Figaro basement loop, and he's also got, you know, some good stuff in here as well. So obviously you got to give the slight edge to Taco Mage with both the Ragnarok and the Illumina over the Valiant Knife and the fixed dice, but those are still some pretty ridiculous options early on for our runners. Also snipers and Hawkeyes, yeah, so we got some nice offense. The problem is offense doesn't scale early in the game as well as Magic does.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, that Valiant Knife especially, like, we know why it's so exciting, for especially as you go on and your character gets more health. But early on, while the health is as low as it is, it's just not going to be as powerful. So an offering there for free for Fitz.
Wow.
So offering Valiant Knife combo is exciting to see.
So we're in the Coliseum as well. I don't really... Hero Ring's pretty decent. But other than that, I don't really see anything worth jumping up and down for. But again... Maybe a
red cap to go on your Valiant Knife user.
Yeah. We've had ridiculous treasures so far early in this seed.
Was there a gem box too? Chat's saying there's a gem box in there as well.
Yeah, that's a good thing to sell. Mega Elixir.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep, so Taco Mage is going to get his auto haste there from the Coliseum after picking up the Hero Ring. So Hero Ring gives an extra 25% to both physical and magical offense. So that's really nice to have. Especially in like Locke's flag set, where magic is inherently nerfed because of the -5 magic power. I don't think we'll see a gem box being used. X magic, it costs a lot to do both spells, right? And it takes a lot of time. The spell animations take a while. Plus, you are slower than any other command. So if you do your X magic commands and then you queue up a different command with another character, normally that other character will go first because of how long it takes for X magic to queue up the ATB sort of thing. And we get our first boss check of the seed here on Taco Mage's screen. And it is Ultros number 2, the Opera House Ultros, because this is a side, or rather a pincer attack. Taco Mage also picked up an experience egg somewhere too. Was that in?
Yeah, he did.
Was that in Narsh? I don't know if Fitz has it or not.
Yes, that was in the beginner house in Narsh.
Okay. Yeah. So
I don't think Fitz has been to Narsh yet at all. So.
Yeah, I'm assuming he'll get there with both Terra and Locke, as that's another dead check in Aegis Shield. So yeah, where's our stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, our stuff is all in chests, right? So as a runner, when you get this much stuff early in the game, you just want to go and not have these dead checks and dead checks and dead checks. So I wonder how our runners are feeling now.
Yeah. Especially, there's the Valiant Knife right there for Taco Mage. That's in the World of Balance, South Figaro.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Fitz finding a decent amount of elemental rods in World of Ruin, Figaro.
And another Mega Elixir too. So there you go. The chests have been pretty stacked this seed. So, I would have to assume that Fitz gets to Narsh, relatively soon. There's an Imp Armor and a Titanium in that one shop. We'll see if there's an Imp Halberd anywhere. I might have seen one in the Coliseum, but I don't remember. Anytime I could do an Imp jump strat situation, I'm like, it doesn't matter if this is slower, I will win the seed this way because it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
I got
Looks
to
like
pull it
he's
out
making-
actually in my second round Coliseum match. Spoiler alert: I did not win that match.
So now we've got Fitz here going for his Coliseum to get that auto haste.
Yeah, we'll see what's in his regret. There it is, Imp Halberd.
Yep.
So
Yep,
we
it is
can
there.
we can make ourselves an Imp Jumper. Oh, there's another set of fixed dice in there and a Dragonhorn.
Yep.
Dragonhorn for Mega Elixir
another
though.
Valiant knife.
Dragonhorn for Mega Elixir though. I don't think is worth it. Yeah, this is a great fight for a sniper here. So he's got his lock with a sniper. Phase is floating because it's a floating head. Oh, and he's got the offering too. Juicy procs. Let's go.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very nice.
All right, so we have lots of options open to us here. I hope that somebody does the imp strats. that would be awesome.
Yeah, they did both go for the same Coliseum fight for the hero ring.
And now Taco Mage is going to get his gem box and offering in the same chest that we saw before.
Yeah. All right, and yes, looks like now Fitz has made his way to Nourish.
Question in the chat: do they have to do all the objectives, or does it just give benefits? Well, in order to, so on the bottom half of the tracker there, the numbers in gold, those are our goals. In order to beat the game, we need to unlock Kefka, which requires acquiring 6 characters and finding 9 espers. So each of the world events that are open to our runners will reward either an esper, an item, or a character. Now, there are some, they called checks, that will only reward certain things. Like there are some, like the Narsh weapon shop that we just saw Fitz go in, can only be either an esper or an item. You can't recruit a character there, right? But that's why they are going to go to these world events and try and figure out how can I get to 6 characters and 9 espers the fastest. And the way that Worlds Collide works is that there must be characters that come from other characters with the way the logic of the seed goes, right? You can't get sort of locked out of a character, if you will. So between all of Strago's stuff, all of Locke's stuff, and all of Terror's stuff, we're going to find another character at some point. All right, so Taco Mage is coming back to this Pugs fight, and you could steal a Minerva from every single Pug here.
That's right.
And that's exactly what he's doing. Very nice.
Nice to see it. Nice to see it. Alrighty.
Yeah, so some member of the community decided to nicely do a little vanilla steel chart. I wonder who was the genius.
I wonder who that was.
Together.
Yeah. I wonder who that was. I think it might be someone else in this commentary booth with me right now.
Importing and exporting CSV files is fine. It's easy.
Yeah, no, huge shout out to you for doing that. That's it's in the Discord. If you are giving this run a shot, this flag set, this lock flag set, double check the links in the Discord. Schwantz has put that there, and it's a link to with the list of what all the steals are for the enemies that you will encounter.
Oh, Fitz throws down 44,000 GP for that Ragnarok. I can't wait to tell him it was only 140.
Yeah.
Another question in the chat. In terms of the Coliseum objectives, no, the runners do not have to do the Coliseum objective. In this flag set, however, the objective of win a Coliseum fight, get auto haste is so good that runners will normally gravitate towards that and do it. Another question from Innocence Loss: are the boss locations random? They're not random, they're shuffled, meaning you can't fight the same boss more than once. However, they won't be in the right locations. Like here, Taco Mage is at the Welk spot, and he's fighting Vargas in the Apple Toilets, the Ipoos, who are normally at Mount Cults. So the bosses, there's no repeats, but they won't be, or they have a chance to not be in their vanilla spot, right? As with anything random, there can sometimes be a vanilla sprinkling here and there.
Correct.
So.
Drago's ready.
Yeah, so after we see what this reward is, maybe we'll tell you what the next flag set is for next week.
That's right. All right, let's see what this reward is for Taco Mage. Magicite, first one.
Let's go.
It's Phoenix. Let's see what Phoenix has.
I'm sorry.
That was real fast.
Yeah, so I know in other games like Jets of Time, the boss is HP and levels are based on its location. That's not how it is in Worlds Collide. In Worlds Collide, it works based on how many characters, espers, and dragons you've done, right? And you take that number, you add them up, and then you multiply them in this particular seed by 2.5. So in Taco Mage's case, all of his enemies will be level 4 plus 2 times 2.5. So that's what, 6 times, rather 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. Yeah. So all of his enemies are level 10, right? And he's level 12 currently, so he's slightly ahead of his scaling. On Fitz's side, his enemies are going to be level 3 times 2.5. So that's what, 3 plus 3 plus 1.5. So they'll be level 8, something like that. So he's going to be fighting slightly less hard enemies. However, the harder the enemies that you fight, the more levels they have, the more experience they give you. So it's sort of like a snowball effect. Yeah.
And to answer Tycoon Mike's question in the chat, the steal chances in this are always. So there's always a success on your steals. 5/8 of the time, it'll be the rare item. And if it's an enemy that has a super rare item, it'll be 3/8 of the time.
Yeah, so Dragon is a good steal because they could either drop a potion or a Genji glove, which is one of the enemies that Fitz just fought. The rare steal, obviously, is the Genji glove, but it's certainly worth it. And we do have Blitz.
Yes, there it is.
And yes.
And boom.
There it is. GG. Taco Mage has won the race with a time of... No. Yep, so that's it. There it is, the suplex.
There it is. There's the suplex, yep.
Run validated.
Yeah. So, as Taco Mage was getting ready and preparing to get into this fight, you could see that the sprite, the person he talked to, was not a character. So the reward for this did happen to be another Esper, Madwin. But he knew he wasn't going to get a character out of this. If it was a character, it would have been the person he spoke to begin the Kefka and Arsh event. So knowing that, took the risk in getting either an Esper or an item based on the sprite. But yeah, paid off.
This is an annoying fight, Dragon. So Dragon will counterattack you with Sneeze, which basically blows your characters away from the fight, and they don't get any XP. And in the case of Strago, since he's the one uncursing the shield, that battle won't count towards uncursing the shield, which is quite annoying.
Yeah.
Dragons do give a lot of XP and MP though, but that is definitely one of the more annoying aspects of this Casa del Fuego here.
Right, and having a character sneezed away just makes the fight go longer, and so yeah, it's been an annoying and long burning house here for Fitz.
I'm sorry.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say he gets a Magimaster Light here.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, right.
This is Magimaster at home, number 24. Meanwhile, Taco Mage heads into the Phoenix Cave. Question in the chat: do you get bonus points for completing all of the opera? Well, Celeste has the Opera House Disruption check available to her. You know, the part where you talk to the Chancellor and fight the rats up in the rafters, and then drop down and fight, Ultros in the vanilla game. If you decide to do the opera singing event, that is a quest in Worlds Collide, and you can set a quest to reward something as part of the objective system. In this particular set of flags, there is no reward for completing the opera. So at about a 4-minute cutscene, it's definitely not worth doing in a race because there's no reward for it. And speaking of no reward... It's just another Ragnarok for oneFreeFitz. A lot of dead checks this seed. Like I said, I'd be pretty frustrated because when you have all this good stuff, you just want to go.
Yeah. However, going back to Innocence Lost and getting bonus points for doing the all of the opera, I mean, that's part of what makes Worlds Collide so fun. It's why we have a great community of runners who love going through and doing these races. Is you can also make a seed where you can have that be a reward for going through that quest. So visit our website, make a seed, run through it, and have a great old time with it.
Well, since we are in Ebbett's Rock, which is one of Strago's checks, and I kind of hinted at this earlier, Saberwolf, let's bring up the flag set for next week for round 5 of the Coliseum. We will get to show off Strago's rod, and so that means we're going to start with Strago with his vanilla lore. So we know that we're going to have access to him to start off, and we will punch the graphic in just a second. There it is.
There it is.
So we do start with plus 10 magic power added to our stat bonus, and for winning the Coliseum, we do get a set of breakable rods, so that's all of the elemental rods plus the gravity rod. If we complete Fanatic's Tower and Ebbett's Rock, we unlock all of Strago's lores. We get a chance to have Shock available, but not X Magic. And hey, there's 2 Yetis on the screen.
Hey, look at that.
One at the Phoenix Cave and one at Ebbett's Rock.
That's right.
So going back to Strago, we also get rods in the shops for sale, as well as lures are much more powerful. They're buffed. You get more to start off with, and their MP is between 50% and 100% of vanilla. Spells, however, get a nerf. Espers will only teach 1 or 2 spells. However, you can multi-summon those Espers. So thank you for that little production quality on our stream there, Saberwolf. Appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. And just to appease
and that's Ragnarok
there, I'm going to get real close to the mic, Kilbasiago, and I'm going to say Strago's Rod.
Magic power +1 and cure 3 on Ragnarok the Esper this time. I bet your Fitz was sick of seeing Ragnarok the Sword. Yeah, so there is guaranteed Grand Train if you do Fanatic's Tower and Ebbett's Rock for next week's flag set for Strago. There is a chance that you could start with it. One of our other races that we just broadcasted started with both Grand Train and Quasar, which are the 2 most powerful damage dealing lures. And it looks like Taco Mage with that Umaro is headed up to the top of the world of Ruin Narsh, and he's going to fight a dragon here. So dragons are shuffled amongst themselves, similar to how the bosses are. They will reward a fat stack of XP, 50 MP, their vanilla drop, in this case a scimitar from Blue Dragon, and they also drop a high tier item reward since it's considered a check. However, it also adds 2.5 levels to everything because that's how progression goes. So it's one of those will ya, won't ya kind of things. So we'll see. Fitz getting the bad news that the South Figaro Cave is also a dead check, and it looks like he's going to head over to Zozo for one of Terra's checks.
There we go.
So normally it's difficult in Worlds Collide to figure out who's ahead because we don't have like a key item hunt like we do in a lot of other randomizers. However, oneFreeFitz finding all of these dead checks in a row hopefully means that he's not going to find any more from here on out. However, Taco Mage having access to Umaro, who's an additional character, opens up more checks and more world events. Now, when we went up to Kefka at Narsh, you could peek in the little hole in the World of Balance Narsh to see what the reward is from the Yeti Cave. If there's a character there, then it's that character. If not, then it's an Esper or an item. And I don't remember seeing a character there, so it's either an Esper or an item.
I don't remember seeing a character there either.
Yeah, so question... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, question in the chat about rolling the Coliseum flag settings on the website. They're So we're getting a new website. It's in beta at the moment. You can access it by joining the Worlds Collide Discord. And also in the Worlds Collide Discord, there's access to a bot that allows you to roll seeds and roll presets. And each of the Coliseum flag sets is available as a preset. So you can easily just say, give me the Strago Rod preset, please. And the bot will give it to you. It should be called DMX bot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Another couple of easy bosses here, except when Welk goes into his grew hole and we have a Yeti that keeps hitting the shell. Listen to Bix and Wedge, Yeti. Come on now.
Alador over on oneFreeFitz' side at the top of Zozo.
What's on it? I saw some sort of 2 or 3 spell, so that's halfway decent. Yeah, so this is the problem with Yeti and Welk, is Yeti will continue to attack the shell, and every time you do that, it will counterattack with something. And this is just animation time that allows Yeti's ATB to build up so that he will then attack again. Stop it, Yeti. Stop it.
Yeah, luckily, Yeti is the one who went down from those counterattacks, so now Taco Mage can actually get a little bit of reprieve from those counterattacks.
Unfortunately, Locke trying to uncurse the shield bit the dust. This is just... Welk is an easy fight, but it's extremely annoying. If you don't beat him in like 1 or 2 turns, then this is what happens.
Yeah.
Mike points out it's Cure 2. Always nice to see healing spells, because you're never guaranteed to get them in the seed. Sometimes Life 2 is your best healing spell. Sometimes a shield is your best healing spell.
Yeah.
Alright, and Fitz looks like he's going to go up and do the Norsh loop here. I wonder if he'll continue on to Kefka Norsh as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ooh,
it did end up being an Esper, right? So
that is a very nice Esper pickup there for Taco Mage with Fenrir. Fenrir allows us to dodge one of the death counters of Tier 3 of the final battle, called Calmness. It's basically an instant death physical. So its Esper summon will allow a particular status called Image, and that basically allows you to dodge physical attacks, which is great. I think Welk Shell has max HP, like 64k. So unless you're like, double Valiant Knife offering and on super low HP, I don't even know if you could do it, right? Because it's gonna... Because the Welk, I mean, you could attack the shell even when Welk's head is out, but why would you subject yourself to that?
Yeah.
All right, it's a Magicite here in the carving, as we suspected.
Nice little Ramu action.
So you don't unfortunately get to equip the Esper before this fight, so I don't actually know if it counts as progression for this fight or not. That's a question for somebody smarter than me.
That is a good question. Doulahan guarding that one. Fitz going ahead and doing the Kefka Narish.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 Narshes here.
That's right.
So now that we know that Yeti Cave is not a character, Phoenix Cave and South Figaro Cave are not characters. Ebbett's Rock and Burning House are not characters. We are basically left with what? Mobliz and Leet River?
Yeah, Mobliz and Leet River.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
right. Yeah,
chat, we need your prediction, chat. Where's our 5th character? Leet River or Mobliz? And both of those locations are terrible. Leet because it just takes forever, and Mobliz because you have to fight Fun Baba 3, who blows 2 of your characters away. And then you fight the real boss at that spot with only 2 characters, or 3 and a level 3 character if there's a character there.
Hey, it would not be a Saberwolf restream if it wasn't for Lete River Force.
Oh,
I'm just saying, okay?
I also forgot that we do have Fanatics Tower as well, and we could peek what the reward is at the bottom. So, Sorry, I forgot about Fanatics Tower.
And Mirshana, we do have the fifth character. This would be a fifth character because Taco Mage did find Yeti. Where Yeti was at the end of where was that Taco Mage found Yeti?
Phoenix Cave.
Phoenix Cave. Yeah, Phoenix Cave. There we go.
Yep. Yeah. So Saberwolf, thank you for broadcasting this debauchery. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Always appreciate our restream team and Aprebs for hopping in the booth with me as well. So
always
we'll see which one of our runners goes to either one of those three awful checks first.
Which one would you go for?
Oh, I'm peeking Fanatics Tower first. I actually don't hate Fanatics Tower as much as everybody else does because it's a guaranteed either character or Esper. You can fight a dragon there. You get a high tier item at the chest at the top. You can get all the chests in all the other rooms if you really wanted to. The only problem is that you can't warp out of it, so you got to walk up those towers because for whatever reason, Square had a fetish with stairs.
I was
between that and Shinra Tower, and isn't there like a ladder thing in like one of the other Final Fantasy games?
Schwantz, I was going to say the reason why you like it so much because you have amazing legs. That's why.
Oh yeah. I just love doing circles on my D-pad. That's pretty much it. And the other gimmick is you can only use magic inside of Fanatics Tower, right? So it depends on what spells we have.
Yeah.
Stairmaster Schwantz in the building.
The famous ladder game is Metal Gear Solid 3, right? That super long ladder sequence with the theme song playing in the background.
You know, that's not a game I've ever played, so sure, we'll go with it. Am I missing? Oh, yeah, I'm totally screwing up the counts here. We're at 4 and 4 on Taco Mage and 3 and 4 on oneFreeFitz, who grab a paddle. We're going upstream.
Going white water rafting. Yeti taking on the Yeti over there on the Taco Mage's screen.
Yeah, I would peek Fanatics before doing either of these. Maybe if I'm Fitz, I'm feeling like, wow, I ran into a lot of dead checks. Maybe Elite River is not going to be a dead check this time around.
Maybe. You could also end up peeking Mobliz as well. That's a scary fight to take on, though, as we've discussed many times before. Fighting Funbaba for the first part, which is always Funbaba for the first part, and then he sneezes 2 of your party members away, and then you end up fighting a random boss with only 2 characters. So that can be a scary one.
So I like what Taco Mage is doing is he gave the XP egg to his Blitz user. When you get to level 42, you can unlock the most powerful Blitz in the game called Bum Rush if you do a little cutscene with Master Duncan here. And there is a realm at the bottom of Fanatics Tower, so that might be where we have to go. Now, remember, there could still be a character at Elite River or at Mobliz. Taco Mage doesn't know yet that his only options are those 3 spots. So, I'm 99% sure Fitz got the egg because he was also in, Narsh multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't, it's because he didn't loot the classroom. And the classroom looting does take a while. All right, so that's an Esper there at Mobliz. So depending upon what we find at Elite River, we might be gated at Fanatics Tower here.
Yeah.
And it looks like Taco Mage is going to do it. So
yeah.
You can talk to that little girl, and she will tell you what the reward for this is. Oh, and we have a tortoise shield too? Man, who's not doing the imp strats? Come on.
All right. So Taco Mage going ahead and saying, I am going to grab Carbuncle. And let's see who ends up getting sneezed away.
Yeah, if I'm Taco Mage, I'm hoping it's not Locke because he's uncursing my shield.
Yep.
You can actually pick who you want to sneeze away. If you enter this fight, Funbaba 3 will always sneeze away dead characters first. So if you want him to sneeze somebody away, just kill them off before going into this fight.
That is a heck of a lineup over there on Fitz's screen.
Of course, curse of the commentator. We're left with Strago and Yeti.
Strago and Yeti. Woo! Here we go. Okay, an Ifrit Shiva.
Oh, do we have fire or do we have ice? We have a Pearl Rod. That's not going to help.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh my goodness. Wah, wah, wah. F's in the chat for Taco Mage.
Oh yeah, totally. Indeed.
All right, well, he knows that his character's not there, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing this. Yikes.
Yikes, indeed. Oh, man.
All right, so this is going to be a little bit for Taco Mage between all the dragons here and the dead check. And Fitz is coming up on the boss here.
Let's see who he's got.
Hey. I love seeing
Kefka
this
action.
boss.
Yep. Yeah, it's always nice to see either Kefka or Ultras, you know?
Yeah, so Kefka I like because he doesn't have a lot of HP, and he gives you 25 MP, so you can learn a lot of magic by killing him. And did I roll this seed? Did I?
No, we agreed
Oh my
that
God,
it was
I
me.
did.
It was me who rolled.
You rolled it, but I'm restreaming it, so it's a combination right there.
So we have a dead burning house and a dead Leet River. Oh my goodness.
Yikes. Yeah, I'm scared of the after run interviews. These guys are not going to be happy with this.
Well, that means that Realm is our way forward in this seed, and Realm only unlocks 2 checks, either Owzer's Mansion or Esper Mountain. So unfortunately, this is kind of a linear seed, which is usually not what happens in Worlds Collide. In Worlds Collide, because you don't have like a key item hunt, sometimes you can get through a seed in multiple ways with multiple different parties, depending upon how it shakes out for you. And the logic in this particular seed is not going to allow that for us, because our 5th character is Realm, and our 6th character has to be at one of 2 spots. So,
yeah. So Fitz here, finally making his way to Phoenix Cave, and is going to get his Yeti.
Yep, but he would have already, since he went up to Kefka Narsh, he would have already peaked the fact that Yeti is not his character. So
correct, yeah.
So what spells are available is what Falcon Hit is asking. I know that we have Cure 2 and Life 3. I don't know what offensive spells we have, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of offensive spells yet, and I feel like if they did have them, that they would definitely be using them a little more often.
Is there a Tre Fuego? I'm not sure.
Is there a Tre Fuego? I don't know.
So, in this case,
there's
Umaro
a couple of rods, I know that, but that's it.
Yeah, there is a Pearl Rod, right? In this case, Umaro actually is not terrible in Fanatic's Tower, because Umaro is just berserked anyway, right? So, it's not as big of a problem. So yeah, we'll see if... The problem is we've had so much offense in terms of physical damage that I don't know if we're going to see what spells our runners have unless they crack open a menu, right?
Yeah.
We have Ragnarok, we got Valiant Knife, we got Illuminas.
6 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then Taco Mage showing off another instance of Locke being able to just steal whatever he wants.
Yeah, the steals on number 24 are not great. I mean, they're okay for selling stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's either a Rune Edge or a Drainer, which normally sell for around 3,500. Which is even less in this seed, right? That's 1750 because it's a quarter. Yeah, I don't this is brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. 45 minutes in, and we've only got the realm being at the fanatics to get to, you know. Yeah, Saber Wolf pointing, yeah, wondering, is Taco gonna end up going elite or Lete? Or well,
Alright,
Taco
so
Mage
that was fire
peak,
too.
right?
Taco Mage peaked it. Yep, he knows it's
So he
there.
knows realm is there.
Fitz is delaying the inevitable. Or does he not remember that Yeti is not a character? Alright, well, here's the thing. Taco Mage knows what's at this Mobliz check, right? And if he doesn't like his spells and has realized, oh god, I gotta do Fanatic's Tower, I'm gonna get as many Espers as I can to try and teach myself something. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe this Carbuncle Esper has got some sort of magic.
Right.
We could actually use.
Yeah. Good point. And it could be just, yeah, wondering, okay, hopefully I'll get better RNG this time with whoever gets sneezed away.
Yeah, interesting question posed by Saber Wolf, right? Do we go to the auction house and buy some Espers?
Ooh.
Alright, it looks like Strago... Oh, man. He was going to kill off Strago.
He was trying to.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's the same too.
Yeah, the no free progression flag is not on, meaning there can be Espers at the auction house. So if Strago knows fire, then we're going to have to get Shiva to appear. One thing we can do is we could actually run away during the Ifrit and Shiva transition between the two, because during that time, the game will set the is this fight runnable flag, right? It resets it. Because you can't run away from bosses. So we can actually run away. However, you have to already be queuing it up by the time you get this transition here. Oh, okay, never mind. He did it. Very nice. I stand corrected.
Look at that.
The full ATB bar. Let's go.
Yes. All right. So let's see what Carbuncle has.
Oh boy. It's got Ice 3 on it.
Yeah. It's got Ice 3, yeah. Tres Hielo.
And yeah, Trey Halo. I totally Americanized the pronunciation of that word, and that's fine.
That's fine.
Hielo.
All right, and
I mean, we could do some quick strats.
Yeah, some quick strats. There we go.
Gear 3. Yeah, I am not seeing. I'm not seeing much on these Espers, man.
No. Nothing offensively, at least. Nothing that we want to see as runners or commentators or viewers wanting to see some action. So, Taco Mage going ahead to Zozo here.
I wonder if we scour the globe for super balls. No, that would take way too long with this much progression.
Yeah, and it would be completely random. We don't know what the price would be.
Well, and the damage would also be completely random, right?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, if this is your first time watching a Worlds Collide seed, they're normally not this brutal.
No, not at all. Are the seeds pre-ran for time estimates? It's a question we've got in the chat.
Nope.
Not at all. I mean, some of our commentators do also run, but they run their own seeds. And every seed is going to be different. So it's really just whatever these runners happen to get. So for example, if you are able to go back, I don't know if they put the VODs out on Speed Gaming, but the run that happened about 2 hours ago on the
Mhm.
Speed Gaming channel was the same flag set, but it looked completely different in terms of the characters that were found, the items that were found, all of that stuff.
Yeah, the seeds are generated about 3 to 5 minutes prior to the race starting, so that this way there is no possible way our runners could potentially quote unquote cheat and run it beforehand, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that way it's a completely blind run. They don't know where items already are, or which bosses are where, or what characters, items, espers are where. It's completely blind.
as a fun exercise that you can, and there are races that have done this, you can potentially generate a spoiler log for a given seed where it tells you exactly where everything is. And sometimes we do have spoiler log races, but that is more, it's kind of like an exercise in thinking the route and planning it out, right? And seeing just how fast you could actually do it.
Yeah. And at that point, it's a race between the runner's knowledge of the game, knowledge of the randomizer, and their knowledge of what can make a good, fast, optimized route. But yeah, Innocence Lost, I thought the commentators might know beforehand what's coming. We do not. That's why we are just as surprised and excited and have the same reactions you guys do when it comes to oof, tough to see for Fitz, Locke, and Strago going away. So he doesn't have quite the same bad luck as Taco Mage had there in the Mobilis fight.
Yeah, so this will again be an Esper. The problem is that he's got access to Blitz, which does do. He's got a whole set of rods.
Oh yeah, he found a lot of those rods in the World of Ruin South Figaro, which I don't believe Taco Mage did.
Whew, yeah, it's too bad he used that one on that. So
yeah, yeah.
So you can use items in Fanatic's Tower, so you can break rods in Fanatic's Tower as well.
True.
And look at that. We are 52 minutes into our run, and we are tied at 4 and 7.
Was that Strago's rod? But luckily he still has the fire rod and the pearl rod, and he just got the carbuncle, which we know has ice 3.
Right.
So he will have.
And if you defeat the dragon, you learn it. Basically, that's how it's gonna go.
There we go. And stair climber simulation over there on Taco Mage's screen.
Yeah, this is a particularly awful seed. I've seen some really bad ones, but this is definitely in the top end of them.
Yeah, this one's pretty rough, for sure.
We used to, in the earlier days of Worlds Collide, only start with 2 characters, and if you got let's say an Umaro Go-Go start, and your only progression was Kefkat and Arsh, and the boss there was, let's say, Poltergeist, as I've seen before, it is just mean. Unbelievably mean.
An experience egg.
All right, so who's this boss going to be, boys and girls? Let's get your guesses.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, if it's a Magimaster, I would expect the forfeits to start rolling in.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say Goddess.
Ugh. All right, I'm gonna be nice and give our runners a break. Let's go with, especially since they learned the ice spell, right? Let's go with Chupon. Ultros and Chupon.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Oh,
Air
God.
Force.
This is my least favorite boss in the entire game, too. It's like the seed knew that I rolled it and was like, here. Let's give you everything you hate. So Air Force is weak to lightning magic, which we don't have.
Not at all.
Yeah, so I thought that this seed was going to be super fast because of all of the stuff we got at the beginning of the seed.
Oh yeah.
We got Illuminas, Ragnaroks, Valiant Knife, Fixed Dice, Offerings, Minervas, Snow Mufflers, everything,
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's like the seed was like, here, you get all these things, but we're gonna make it so you can't progress with them because you gotta go to Fanatic's Tower.
Yeah, this is just... Ugh.
Oh yeah, this is rough. Yeah, this is probably one of the tougher ones we've seen. The one we did on Tuesday was also pretty rough. That one was a longer one.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're making these runners earn in the winner's bracket, right?
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's Coliseum. It's the Coliseum. You know, they got to go for it.
Do runners think that they're behind? Absolutely. I would not feel behind. I wouldn't feel that far behind, rather. I'd be extremely frustrated with how the seed is shaken out. But I would know that my other opponent is also last locationing their character in Fanatic's Tower with absolutely no magic to be found anywhere in the seed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they made like what Saberwolf said before and went to the auction house to go pick up an Esper that we somehow missed to make this fight easier. There's no way that my opponent did this before I did.
Yeah, there's definitely certain checks that are. I'd say the checks are pretty. There's like a common order in which most people end up trying to do them, knowing that some are longer, knowing that some provide characters versus other checks having no characters at all but guaranteed Esper or item. Having that kind of knowledge, most runners that I've seen end up going for the same ones in the same orders. So I don't think our runners would feel too behind in terms of I'm behind the other runner. It's more so just frustration at saying like, this is a tough seed, and I am not at all happy with where it's taking me, but I don't think that the other runner is that far ahead of me either.
Yep. All right, Sword Tech on Realm with some nice magic power there. Boom, quad 9s on the Thunder.
Nice.
Realm. So both of our runners have a choice to make. Do they go to Auser's Mansion or do they go to Esper Mountain? So Esper Mountain you could peek, so that's why I think Taco Mage is going there first. If he doesn't see a character, just beeline it over to Auser's Mansion.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat agreeing to take the peek, go to the mountain first.
Yeah, so certain checks you can peek what the reward is before you go through with the check fully, and they're called peekable, right?
Yeah.
So in this one here, there's going to be a character that flies out of the left-hand side of the screen. If it's a character, and it is with Celeste, then that's who we will recruit. If it was like a ghost or an imp or a merchant, then it's not.
That's right. And Celeste gives us access to more checks than the other characters that we've found so far. You know, Yeti only providing, is it 2 checks, and
it's
Realm
1 for Yeti.
1 for Yeti, gotcha. And then
it's also only 2 for Realm, but it just happens that Esper Mountain is a very fast one, and you can peek it. So
yeah. So Celeste providing us with more than Realm and Yeti did, also with a free check in the Figaro basement. Free check meaning that you get your reward, either character, item, or magicite, without having to fight a boss.
Yeah, I wonder what our levels are looking like. It's in the 30s there for Fitz.
Yeah, low 30s there for Fitz.
He might not have gotten that experience egg. I would have expected one of his characters to be super more level than the others.
Yeah. He did find a second one, or I guess it may have
at the top of one. Yeah, it was at the top of Fanatic's Tower, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that was his first one.
Maybe. Yeah, Taco Mage right there. It was real quick, but after that, the Stooges fight there, he's got KT skip.
Yeah, Fitz also, according to his tracker, has 12 bosses killed. So both of our runners will skip right to the statues. Not a surprise given we had to fight basically in last location everything, so. It is Runic Celeste. However, with all of those swords, that is probably what she's going to do. Yeah, so as far as what spells we've got, we don't have any instant death. Actually, that's not true. We have access to Petrify, which is Break.
Yeah.
And Fitz here is going to Owser's Mansion first. I guess he's gambling that this is a character here, and then he can just go in the auction house for 2 Espers.
That might be it.
Yeah, so as Saberwolf points out in the chat, if you wear the Cursed Ring, which is one of the relics, you do get the Condemned status. However, once you get 20 magic points, you get to learn X-Zone, which is an instant death spell. All right. So Taco Mage is going to head to the Magitech factory. This is a 3-part check, and the first 2 parts of this check can only reward an Esper or an item. So I like this play a lot. So this way he knows that his chances are pretty good that he's going to get 2 Espers here, especially with how many dead checks we've already seen here, Krebs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So let's hope for a good Owser's Mansion here, and then...
Yeah, if this is a character, then I think we got a real nail biter. If it's not a character, then Fitz is just even more behind getting Celeste a little bit later.
Yeah.
So we can see who the character is that's painting the picture. If it's, an NPC, then it's obviously not a character. However, you can't warp out of Owser's Mansion, and that's part of the problem, as we got a merchant sprite. So Fitz knows that his last character is in Esper Mountain.
And it's Doomgaze there. Ooh, taken out 2 immediately. That is that's rough.
That's the buy one get one free special there from Doomgaze.
Yep.
This is also kind of an awful boss to find here as well, because like I said, you can't warp out, and Doomgaze just has a ton of HP, in addition to a lot of the instant death spells that he likes to cast.
Yeah, exactly. We got Senor Behemoth over on the other side.
Yeah, unfortunately, he absorbs ice, so this is not going to work out so well. And so does Doomgaze, funnily enough. That was a pretty fast fight, all things considered. I wonder if he threw the Pearl Rod. Oh no, Locke is 34 HP and a Valiant Knife offering. Never mind, that's why that...
Yeah, Valiant Knife and offering, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the worst seeds I've seen in recent memory, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been a rough one. But he makes it through, and he gets show at, however you want to say that one.
Yeah, so Shoat's pretty nice to have, because we'll give you an ability or access to Petrify, which will instantly kill Long Arm on tier 1. Doesn't necessarily work for tier 2, because that only is instant death and not instant death and Petrify. We'll see if there's anything in the auction house. There are glowing stones, and it looks like he's gonna gamble on one of them. And he does not get it on the first try here.
Fire 3 and Ice 2 on the Bismarck after Magitech.
That would, I mean, we already have those spells game, thanks.
Yeah.
So what Fitz is going to do here is he's going to buy this $50,000 item if he's got the money for it. And what that does is it'll take it out of the item pool. So now the thing that'll show up 50% of the time is the $20,000 reward slot. Now, that could either be an Esper or an item, and I probably would have saved after this, but he's probably feeling behind and is like, let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go for it.
Hey, and there's another Esper.
Very
So
good.
Fitz doesn't need any more boss kills, and he knows where his last character is, right? So I don't hate this play, right? As much as I did initially, because I try to lump in the auction house of Bowser's Mansion whenever I possibly can to get value out of this area of the world. You can get multiple checks done at the same time.
Innocence Lost with another question in the chat saying, do the runners have a way to see what enemy scale is at? So no, they don't have a way of seeing, but they do keep track of these things while they're running. They keep track themselves as well of how many bosses they've fought, and using that they can do the math when they open up and they see their levels, and they can see they kind of have that idea of, okay, my bosses are probably around this level because now I'm at 10 bosses, or now I've done this many checks and the scale has gone up again. So our runners are really on top of keeping their eye on that as well.
All right, so Kefka unlock is complete for Taco Mage there, and Fitz is going to get the same as soon as he's done with this particular check. So it'll be interesting to see what Taco Mage is looking for here. There it is. I don't know why the Kefka unlock animation is not going. We've fudged it up.
Tycoon Mike pointing out he's a little worried about Kefka's Tower and wondering what bosses we'll run into there. Seeing as we haven't fought any of the statue bosses or any of the other, many of the other really annoying boss fights. So,
yeah. None of the three statues. I mean, we've seen Doomgaze. Fitz is fighting the Stooges now, which can be kind of annoying at times unless you have, the elemental stuff to deal with it. We haven't seen Magi Master either. We saw Air Force at the top, which can be a particularly annoying boss when scaling gets very high.
Yeah, we haven't seen Guardian or
Inferno
yet. Yeah.
Or Haydn in the Haydnites, which always takes a while because it's a multi-part boss.
Yeah.
So. All right, Locke with 74 HP and a dream finishing that fight out. You love to see it because he's going to be on very low HP for his Kefka Tower climb.
All right, and Taco Mage landing on those switches.
Sorry, I had to sneeze there, but oneFreeFitz also unlocked his Kefka Tower, and he'll skip to the switches as well. So we got a race here, folks. 1 hour and 8 minutes in, we are just stepping into Kefka's Tower, and we get one of the easiest bosses.
Nice. Yeah, you like to see it.
So it looks like Taco Mage did put a gem box onto Strago, and you saw him queue up the Ice 3 spell twice, and then queue up Fight with Terra. And this is kind of what I was mentioning earlier. Terra actually took her turn first. So, interestingly enough, Taco Mage put the experience egg on Terra all game and decided not to go get Bum Rush. So, maybe we'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, though, that everybody is just going to complain to me about how bad the seed is.
Yeah.
Another rather innocuous boss here.
Yep. Ooh. Oh, you love to see the one hit.
All right, so we got two easy bosses up the middle. Fitz is going to show us what's on the left side here. Ugh.
Oh, we got spaghetti.
Yeah, we got some grabby noodles. This is an awful boss to find in Kefka's Tower too, because your party is split up, and all they do is slow the fight down.
Yeah.
Not to mention, if they grab you, then it's one of your characters out of the fight for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely in the Discord somewhere. We could always re-download it again. All right, Taco Mage is going to show us what's at the right side here. Oh. Yeah, so it's one of the bosses I said I wouldn't like to see. Especially Realm doesn't have Fire 3, which is something that Haydn doesn't like. However, access to Sword Tech 6 is pretty good. Oh, that's right. I didn't even realize that. Thank you, Mike. So he points out everybody's got auto haste, so tentacles can't actually grab you.
Ah.
Very nice.
Yes.
All right,
Good point there. Good point.
So Mom Spaghetti is not a problem here in this flag set, then.
Now I'm just picturing Strago with fingerless gloves.
I bet you Strago can spit. Oh.
Yikes.
Realm got wombated, and now we got a poisoned Yeti against Haydn. Can Umaro outlast Haydn here?
Oh. Oof. Nice body slam. Oh.
Oh no. Oh no, this might be it.
Ooh. Oh, come on.
Oh god.
No.
Oh, I would have waited to see if it missed, although another poison tick probably would have killed Umaro there.
Yeah.
Ugh. So this opens the door for oneFreeFitz to catch back up here.
Yeah.
He's just got to defeat this boss here, and...
Still waiting on that cursed shield, though, it seems like.
No, that's condemned from Narapa, maybe?
Oh, okay. Is it from Narapa? Okay, gotcha. Okay. Phew. I was about to say, I was like, he's had that cursed shield for a while.
It's either that or somebody's wearing a cursed ring for X Zone. I think somebody mentioned it earlier. Yeah, it's in Taco Mage's inventory there, so.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so that amulet will protect, I think, from poison and from zombie, which is what Haydn has. Let's see. Amulet prevents poison, darkness, and zombie. Yeah, so that is the thing to wear in this fight. Because if your character dies, Haydn will revive them as zombies too.
Yeah.
Alright, so one boss stands between oneFreeFitz, Taco Mage, and Final Kafka here. And Yeti is throwing things into the wrong things.
Oof, and very low.
Yeah, so part of the problem with Sword Tech 6, which is Stunner, is it will do magical damage to everything on the screen. And when all of Haydn's Haydnites go away, he tends to do a very massive attack, right? I don't remember what it was in the first go-round of this fight, but that's something always to keep an eye on, because he does have access to spells like Grand Train or something non-elemental that would certainly be a party wipe here. All right, so Fitz is stepping up to the plate with the same party. Let's see if he has any more success. Just a little girl and her beast.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the fire rod and the pearl rod, though. So this would be a nice time to break out both of those, because Haydn is weak to fire and pearl and earth, but who the hell uses earth? Yeah, I thought he would have used the Pearl Rod on Doomgaze. That's, when I always bust out the Pearl Rod, but this is certainly a much better use of it.
Yeah. Well, considering that he also already had... Ooh, no.
Yeah. Oh, 90 HP. Oh my god.
Gosh.
Yeah, I told you, Haydn, when all the Haydnites go away, he puts out a very powerful ultimate spell. Realm has got to heal this turn. Sword Tech 5. Dodge this.
Oh,
Oh god. It's so close.
there we go. There we go. I was so close. Oh. Woo. But,
I mean, he's still...
But yeah, I mean,
insane.
considering that he had already had KT skip, I mean, at that point, would you take the fight with Doomgaze, knowing that you already had enough bosses?
Oh no, Realm is now zombied on oneFreeFitz' screen. And Umaro dies. Oh god.
Wow. There.
Yeah, Falconhead also pointing out in the chat, when you have auto haste, you actually get more tick damage because your turns, you take your turns faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Taco Mage just doesn't have a lot of ways to deal damage here. And now with Haydnites coming back, this dispatch may or may not target the right target. Oh my god, did Fitz not save?
Oh no.
I mean, these are easy fights, but this is still a time loss. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, definite time loss.
It's all good. This is the fires are dumpstering right now, boys and girls. Yeah, if you don't kill Haydn fast enough, he will bring back the homies for another round. And now we've got Yeti turned into a zombie here too.
Fitz here deciding to go for some grinding fights.
No, he forgot his Moogle Charm.
Oh.
There it is. Haydn finally down.
Ooh, all right.
Oh man, what a disaster.
Yeah, that's been rough. That's rough.
Whew. All right, so Taco Mage finally with that side statue down after 9 HP with Realm, using Empower to get her health back.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh. Yeah. If you guys want to see another great seed, really nice race, check out the VOD from the race this past Tuesday. That was a neck and neck race that Schwantz and I commentated as well. Make sure you go to the YouTube and check that out as well after you're done watching this one. That one is also a really good race to watch.
Oh, Taco Mage didn't defeat the tentacles yet. Okay.
Oh.
Fitz is still in this thing.
Yeah, so this is still pretty close then.
Yeah, if I was one of them, I would never talk to me again. I have a feeling that Fitz is going to volunteer a lot less for doing commentary, and Taco Mage is just going to throw me out of the living seed pool.
Yeah. Like I said, you can tell them that I rolled it just to throw the fire off of you a little bit.
Oh no, they can see the race room.
Oh, that's true.
All right, so we're gonna go Fire Rod, Pearl Rod again, and let's hope that Realm doesn't get zombied.
Yeah.
And speaking of our race from Tuesday, GB Matt subscribing with Twitch Prime. Woo woo. Thank you, Matt. All of our subscriptions go towards a good cause, going towards charity. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
That's right. Yeah, if you have them available, use the Prime subs, and like Schwantz just said, we don't take any of that. That goes towards the charities that we get to work with, and Yeah, we've got a charity stream tomorrow night, so make sure you keep that on your calendars. And I believe actually way back at the beginning of the stream, I don't know if we actually addressed this question in the chat, but somebody had asked if we have a schedule of when our streams are. If you do join our Discord, we do post about runs and races that go live in the Discord, so make sure you join the Discord.
But normally we try to keep to a schedule of Wednesday 8 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming, Thursday 9 p.m. Eastern here on this channel, and then sometimes Saturday at 9 p.m. As well. All right, so turn around and go save, Fitz. Come on.
There we go.
All right, so Taco Mage on the switches, 1:19:30, oneFreeFitz, 1:20:25. So less than a runner. Wow, less than a minute difference between our runners here. And let's talk about tier 1 a little bit with break. So the long arm is susceptible to petrify. So we'll see that come out, either shout or break. And the head is weak to fire, so we should see some fire 2 spells and other assorted doohickeys against the head. We don't want to leave it to last because then it'll death counter with Quake, which is real bad.
Oh yeah. You asked earlier who uses Earth. Well, you know, Kefka does.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things about this fight with Locke is that you could basically steal an elixir from every single part of this in tier 1 and tier 2. So we just saw Taco Mage use the steal to his advantage there. And his damage is not great from Realm. So one of the other things about using a gem box is you don't allow that user to have an earring, which will double the damage, right? Yeah, you get to do 2 spells, so it kind of evens out. But it's also a much longer animation. Other characters can skip ahead of you in turns, right? So that's why I think the gem box is great, probably for vanilla, but not so much in this.
Yeah.
In Worlds Collide.
Especially with the auto nerf of -5 magic power.
Yeah.
You know.
So Fitz does have access to float, which is one of the counters for Quake. So he's just going to throw as much stuff as possible at this boss, and even if head death counters with Quake, it doesn't matter as much because he is going to be prepared for it. So when you have like a Valiant Knife user with offering or a fixed dice user with offering, as he has, you can't target where your stuff's going to go. So you don't want to accidentally kill stuff before head. But if you use float, then it doesn't matter. As Taco Mage heads up to tier 2, Locke barely holding on. But with a Valiant Knife user, I wouldn't have expected any less.
Yeah.
So I think this is the tier that's going to slow them down the most. I think we have mute, but I don't think we have instant death anywhere.
Yeah. We do have the
Ice 3 we do have for Tiger, though, at least. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we don't have the mute. We don't have the instant kill, you know, so...
And Fitz is getting horrible Petrify luck. I think this is the 3rd time I've seen him cast Break. Which also means that his offering users might accidentally be hitting the thing that could be instant death, which never feels good. Alright, 3rd time's a charm, I guess. Alright, so it looks like Taco Mage does not have access to mute. Sword Tech 6... Yeah, so Sword Tech 6 is Stunner, which has a chance of inflicting stop, and both tools and hit are susceptible to stop. It's not something that comes into play very often, but if you don't have instant death, stop, I guess, is the next best thing, right?
Yeah. It's I mean, if that's your only option, right? That's you got to take what you can get.
All right, so that is Fitz up to tier 2, and that is Strago out of magic power, I think, so he's going to have to eat an elixir. Thankfully, Strago can... not Strago. Thankfully, Locke can steal a few of them here.
Yeah.
Although that also wastes one of your turns, right? That's one turn you're stealing stuff, and not one turn you're dealing however many damage he's dealing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it's also one turn you're stealing stuff and one turn you're feeding yourself an elixir. So that's 2 damage, possible damage moments that you're taking up. So definitely slows things down a little bit. Here come the 10 hits over on Taco Mage's side.
All right, so he's got one
nice
part
blocks.
of this boss down.
Yeah, getting some nice blocks here. I think I only saw that's the second hit that actually connected. So only 2 out of 10 that connected there.
Very nice. Yeah, that quad 9s from our magic users definitely shows you the difference in power output between our 2 runners here. Whereas Taco Mage relying on Strago with X magic and then fixed dice offering sometimes, right? It's more of a gamble as to what your damage is going to be. All right, Tiger is dead for Fitz. I think that's magic dead, and that's that tier done for Taco Mage. It is still neck and neck, folks, as we head up to tier 3.
It's a close one.
I'm pretty sure Taco Mage has Fenrir. I'm not sure that Fitz does. So we'll see what he decides to do in terms of calmness protection. And again, I might be BSing. He might also have Fenrir. I just don't remember.
We're gonna find out, I'm sure. As we get here.
Yeah, this was a pretty unforgiving seed for our runners in terms of the tools to deal with Final Kefka here.
Oh yeah.
No instant death, no mute.
Some nice rolls from... Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Decent rolls over on Fitz's side.
Yeah, well, you'll see the difference here between using just a big sword and then using the fixed dice, right? The fixed dice is doing sometimes more, sometimes less than the sword, but the sword is definitely more consistent. And there is the calmness block from Taco Mage heading
Very
up
nice.
his Final Kefka with his entire party intact. So the Final Kefka fight is a bit of a dance where he will start out with casting Fallen One as his opening attack, which will be good for our lock user, right? Because that means he'll do more damage with less HP.
Yeah.
If you get him under 30,000 HP, he will counter with either Hyper Drive or Havoc Wing, which will deal damage just to a single target, thankfully. If he gets under 10,000 HP, he may counter with Ultima, but there is a part of the fight that he does not use for counterattacking when he charges up for his ultimate move, Goner, as Fitz scrapes by on tier 2 as well with Strago, looking worse for the wear there. Yeah, so thank goodness Strago is alive, because it seems like I think I saw Fenrir on Strago when he was waiting for magic to do his thing.
Yeah, Spoon in the chat also pointing out that they saw Fenrir on Strago.
Alright, so we skipped Fallen One because Taco Mage did more than 30,000 damage in the first turn. Unfortunately got hit with a train, which means that you will sometimes miss physicals and you can't do any magical spells. So that's why you see Stunner and Strago using Fight instead of casting spells. Illuminas will never miss, though, so that's a good thing. And Offerings will never miss as well. And there it is, the crack, the POW, 128.45. Get your GGs in chat for Taco Mage advancing in the winner's bracket. That means that oneFreeFitz falls to the lower bracket, and he will have to go up against, let's see, who's he fighting? He will go up against Commissioner Double Down in the lower bracket. While Taco Mage has to go up against the winner of Ensign Wesley versus Zenobian.
Wow. What?
You know what? After all that, a sub 130 is actually ridiculous.
True. Wow, what a run. A nice preemptive life 3 there for Locke on Fitz's side. Able to bring him back and still dish out some damage. Although here comes another Meteor. Nice blocks. There we go.
Oh no. That's not what he wanted.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That is just cruel.
Oof.
Speaking of cruel, congratulations, Taco Mage. You are the winner, although it probably doesn't feel that way, does it? All right, if you are talking, I can't hear you. Perhaps can you...
I can't hear
Okay.
you either.
Yeah, desperation attack troll there. That is just... Oh, but he gets the block. He gets the block.
Oof, all right.
Yeah, so what happened there basically was when you queue up fight, there is a 1/16th, I think, or something ridiculously small chance of doing a desperation attack when you're at critical levels of HP. And with Locke with a Valiant Knife, we do not want him to do that because he would do far more damage with regular fight than with a desperation attack. All right, Taco Mage, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Hey!
Yes.
All right, cool.
Again,
Sorry,
congratulations on your win, although I'm sure you're not feeling that way after that seed.
Oh, yeah, I think it says something about my progress as runner that I can make that many critical mistakes and still pull out a sub 130.
It's actually quite unbelievable after, like, if you think about the seed, it was railroaded at Fnatic's Tower with almost no magic in the entire seed.
Yeah, I almost went right away. I was like, ooh, Morrow might be able to do it, but I was like, if there's something really dumb at the top, I'm gonna lose all the climb. So I was like, well, I got to Esper Hunt. And
Yeah, that certainly makes sense, you know, as to why you, even though you knew your last character was there, you're like, I've got to do the Ifrit Shiva fight again by running away, which is nice swag strat in Mobilas to actually do that. I need to suplex the train, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Validating your run and getting all the stuff you needed to get, you know, in order to prior going in there. So that makes sense to me then. So the one real, I guess, question I had for you is, you know, with this seed, you got a lot of the goods early on, right? You got Illumina, Ragnarok, Fixed Dice, Valiant Knife, Offering, all this crazy stuff. And then you've run into dead checks. How do you feel, you know, when you get that sort of a start? Are you enjoying it, or are you like, man, this is awful and I feel awful?
The dead checks weren't so bad until I think I hit, 3 dead ones in a row, and then it started feeling a little bit like, okay, well, I'm running out of the really easy stuff for characters to be at. I'm starting to feel nervous about, you know, places like Fnatic's Tower, Burning House, things like that. And it starts to become a thing where if you're racing against somebody, it's, okay, I have to get lucky and pick the place that they don't go to that actually has the character. So,
oh my god, I feel awful
yeah.
for Fitz.
Yeah, Fitz is not having a good time right now.
Yeah, getting an Ultima counter after all of that just feels disgusting.
Yeah.
I am ashamed that I rolled that seed. I am so sorry.
oh, yeah, I will say, if we're talking about Ultima, getting Ultima by Haidon and surviving with 90 hit points, and then getting the Impaler off at 8, that was like
that was ridiculous.
that was a great feeling.
Yeah, that's a clincher right there.
I was like, I do not want to do this fight again, especially after I went in like within the 3 rounds. I was like, I didn't equip anything on Omaro this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a run though. Well done.
Perseverance is basically the name of this particular seed.
Yeah.
So the only like real question I think I had, other than commiseration, was I noticed you put your experience egg onto your Blitz user, but you did not go and get Bum Rush. Was there a reason for that? Were you just feeling so far behind?
A couple of reasons for that. One, I was feeling way behind. The other reason was that I actually put it on her so that I could scale the Illumina faster. I figured if I scaled that up high enough that she'd be basically my main damage dealer, and that was before I found the VK for Locke. So actually, I considered Bum Rush early, but once it was like, I think we're 40 minutes in and I had like 7 checks down or 7 progression items down or something like that, I was like, well, Bum Rush is out of the question. But she had already started doing so much damage that I kind of was like, well, it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, when you have Illuminos, Ragnaroks, and all that falling out of your ears, you don't necessarily need it. And we also have oneFreeFitz in the booth. I would say GG, but we all know that you hate me right now, so I am sorry, and congratulations on persevering through that mess.
Yeah. I'm
For what it's worth, it was an insane race. You guys were less than a minute apart going into Final Kefka, but there certainly was a lot to not be thrilled about with that particular race.
I mean, like, the routing, the dead checks, whatever. I just blew it at the end, like 100%. I'm real pissed at Hayden right now. That fool was probably like 750 hit points away from dying in round 1, and then I hadn't saved at all in the middle path because I was like feeling behind, so I had to redo all that shit, and that was it.
Yeah, both of you guys had some troubles and struggles with Hayden. Taco Mage, I think you fought him 3 times, right?
I almost fought him 3 times. I was 8 hit points away from fighting him the 3rd time.
Okay, I thought that was on the 3rd time that you did that. So yeah, with all the offense you got in the beginning of the seed, Fitz, was it frustrating to sort of run into those dead checks early?
I mean, definitely, like, I think the most dagger in my heart one was when I went to Burning House, and that was a freaking dead check, and I was just like...
After we had talked about it, like 20
minutes
later.
I did the very same thing.
It's like, are you kidding me? And then, like, eventually I was like... It was basically like, well, if Taco went to Fanatic's Tower early, I'm screwed. Like...
yeah. I mean, the only way that could have possibly have been the case, I saw that you had some rods in your inventory that Taco Mage did not. We didn't really have any spells. We had Fire 2 and Ice 3, right? So how are you going to defeat the boss at the top with no magic, essentially, was the question.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, I was fading it, and I finally got, like, Ice 3, and I had to grind to, like, learn it, and then the boss up there wasn't even, like, that bad, but I don't know. It can be frustrating when in a close race, it's, like, a couple of, like, arbitrary decisions. If I would have swapped realm with whoever was on the left side, it would have been fine. Just, like, there are a lot of, like, those just, like, ugh. And then at the end, I was just like, after I saw Taco had finished, I was like, I'm going to press here and see.
Well, it also did not help that you queued up fight with your Valiant Knife user with low HP. And instead of doing 4 hits to kill, Sleep and move on to the final part of the fight, he decides to do Mirager instead for like 3.5k. And then wild. Sleep is like, oh, ha ha ha, here's a Meteo, right? And then that completely ruined like the whole flow going into finishing that fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of eye rolling. Again, like, that Hayden fight, I was so close to killing him, and like, I didn't really do anything that different other than put another pair of earrings on and get like 1,000 more damage out of a fire rod crack was like the difference. That I'm not gonna beat myself up really at all about this race. Like, I thought I ran it really well. I didn't really get super frustrated not making progress early. Like, even, I mean, I think Lee River was dead too. That was also devastating.
Yeah, it was.
But that at least had like huge experience monsters. So I was like, cool, I guess. Like, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I will have to fight my way back up. I was trying to avoid it for at least one more round, but...
Yep. Well, I will add insult to injury and tell you that the Ragnarok you bought into Zen and World of Ruin for 44,000 was 174 GP in the World of Balance.
Yeah, that's something. And I didn't even need it. And I didn't even need the money. So that doesn't really grind my gears that much. It's just kind of like, oh, another weird thing about this seed. I mean, yeah, you rolled it too. So,
however, for the first time in Worlds Collide history, you guys, I think, both validated your seed, and you're both the real winners for suplexing the drain. So
that's true.
I don't know. Can we have like a middle bracket in between the upper bracket and lower bracket for train suplexers? Like, can we do that? I don't know. We'll have to ask.
Not only that, but the train that you suplexed was behind Kefka and Norsh. So you guys did Kefka and Norsh and suplexed the train.
So real quick before we get you guys out of here, let's talk about next week's flag set, which is, drum roll please, FreeFitz already knows this, but let me get close
to the mic. Strago's Rod.
There it is. It is Strago's Rod. So I think we sort of had our initial reaction a little bit, Fitz, on the other broadcast, but let's talk about it with you here. What are your thoughts on the Strago flag set? Breakable rods and shops, and as the reward for the Coliseum, plus 10 magic power. Do Fanatics and Abbott's Rock for all of the lores, and lots of emphasis on magic.
Yeah, so I have to get to some practice in. I haven't got to play that one yet. Rods are cool. We saw a little bit of that. The fact that they're buyable would mean potentially that's all the offense we need if we can get like a magic power Esper or earrings. And I'm on the record about Burning House. I'm not changing my mind just because it didn't work out this time. That is how we get tricked out of not wanting to go to Burning House, anymore. It's not the best, but it's not the worst.
You're like a New York Jets fan, like a long-suffering fan.
I mean, I'm a Lions fan actually. So
oh God, that's even worse.
So I do what I can, but
I was trying to go with a team that's local to me that I knew, but yeah, sure, let's do that one too.
Because with that magic power boost, like being able to go to the Coliseum, get a win, get rods, like I think unlike the lock seed, Strago will be fast at the beginning, and I have no idea like after that, but
all right,
I'll be excited.
Turn it over to Taco Mage. What are your thoughts? Strago's Rod.
I think it'll be about a polar opposite of Lock Seed, where Lock has always been a very physical heavy seed. I think it'll be almost all about setting up a good magic team. I think Merton Strats will end up shining there in a lot of races.
All right, and you will go on to go up against the winner of the Ensign Wesley versus Zenobian match, while Fitz, you are taking on the Commish, Double Down himself. So good luck to both of you in the next round. I guess we'll do final thoughts. Taco Mage, final thoughts before we let you go?
Nothing other than I want to thank everybody for the restream efforts. I know that it's not easy to set up and to spend an hour and a half talking about, people racing. So thanks to everybody a part of the restream team. And also thanks to Fitz for racing. It was stressful, but a lot of fun.
Well, you know what they say, Taco Mage. Misery loves company, so thank you for allowing us to rebroadcast you as well. So appreciate it. Fitz, any other final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Oh, I'm desperate. I don't want to get knocked out of this tournament yet. I think I'll be an underdog against Double Down, which is a very comfortable position. So hopefully I have at least one more upset in me. I'm coming for you, Double Down. I can't lose anymore. It's time for anything goes. And thanks to the team for putting on the show and, cursing us a bunch. I'm sure it was entertaining to watch us struggle and suffer.
Entertaining was a word for it. I just felt bad. I'm like, wow, this is... I could think of like maybe a few other seeds that were worse, but this is real, just not a fun seed at all. Given what it was, gated at Kefka's Tower with no spells, right? It kind of not Kefka's Tower, the other one. Apreb's
Fanatics Tower. Fanatics
yeah,
Tower.
there you go.
I got you.
I'm losing my mind doing 2 races in a row. Thank you, Fitz, for doing the last commentary with me as well. Also appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, Aprebs, you got any other questions or thoughts before we wrap this up?
Big thank you to everybody here. You guys for running. Taco Mage, oneFreeFitz. Thanks you guys for running and putting on such a grueling and impressive display. Schwantz and Saberwolf here for helping with the restream and the commentary, and thank you to all of those in chat, especially the newer people who came in and asked some great questions and made our job easy tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we converted some of your Jets of Time buddies, Fitz. We'll see more of them in here. Anyways, so thanks, Aprebs, for stepping in the booth with me, and to Saberwolf for doing all the beepity bops behind the scenes for the stream.